I am Gregory Hallows, and this is Preserve Halloween Podcast. So, I am once again recording a podcast in my car while I'm driving. I am on my way back from Texas. It's about an 8-hour drive back to where I live, and I am about 2.5 hours away from my house. So, I decided, let me record a podcast while I have some time. I do want to keep my regularly weekly schedule. I know that it's not always something that's done, but I recorded 2 podcasts last week because I had so much I wanted to say. But I just spent Saturday in Celina, Texas. I attended their Beware of the Square event, and I didn't know much about it. I was invited by a guy named Philip. He works for them or volunteers for the city, I guess, and he wanted me to come to it, and it sounded like a lot of fun, so I decided to, carve out this weekend to head over to Texas. It helped me promote the festival in November, and also give me a chance to visit Texas again, because I've said it before, I really like Texas. So I made the trip over. I made the foolish mistake of trying to do it by myself, and that was not the greatest idea. So I'll try to explain what Beware of the Square is for those that don't know. It's a roughly 5-hour celebration of Halloween. They have a haunted house. They have a bunch of vendors there. They had live music. There was a lot of costumes. Every vendor was required to bring candy to give out to the children, and that was a mathematical error on my part. I'll talk about that in a second. But there was a lot of really cool people there. I didn't get the chance to really go look at anything because I came by myself, and I arrived exactly at the time they said you could be there to start setting up. And that window was about 3 hours, and then once the event started, I couldn't go anywhere. I was at the booth and giving out candy to a ton of kids. So those tons of kids ended up being way more than what I anticipated. You're required to bring 1,000 pieces of candy. I brought, I think, 1,200, and within 2 hours, I was out. And this was with, kids only taking one piece. Generally, I mean, some kids grabbed a handful, some kids grabbed 1 or 2. But for the most part, every vendor there, the rule was, you grab 1 piece, so that way it lasts longer. Well, it didn't. And I found out I wasn't the only one that had that problem. There was some other vendors there that their candy ran out fast. So I don't know if they had more people than they normally do, or if, there's just a lot of kids. But it was crazy, and, it was nonstop, and it was fun because I got to talk about the festival. I got to talk about what it is. I got to see a lot of really cool costumes. There was a really cool Pinhead from Hellraiser there. There was, I think, a Michael Myers. There was Jason and Freddy. And those were just people that decided to come and kind of walk around and take pictures with people. The kids' costumes ranged anywhere from Paw Patrol to Halo to a lot of Fortnite. I saw a lot of princesses and witches and, professional things like I saw a lot of firefighters and doctors. And I made the mistake of calling a girl a girl was in scrubs, and I almost said, "Are you a nurse?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, that's sexist. You're a doctor, right?" And of course, that's what she was. So, it was fun. There was a lot of families there. There was a lot of people in general. I was right across the street from the haunted house, which was a great location for me because it's also was right by the entrance to the whole thing. And which I never saw. Somebody posted on Instagram a picture of the sign, which I had only ever seen the backside of it. I did see couple of people that I thought I recognized from Instagram or social media. I just didn't really have a chance to say hello to any of those people. Plus, I didn't want to come off as like a weirdo, just assuming I knew someone based on, pictures you post online. Um, I did have a few people that knew who I was, which is always weird to me because, the anonymity of doing this online is kind of safe, and it makes you feel comfortable. And then, people meet you and know who you are, and it's kind of jarring, especially for someone like me who's kind of, I'm introverted. But I mean, I get over that because, I do events, so it's just weird to me that people know who I am. But anyway, I played a lot of Halloween music at my booth. I decorated it. It was a lot of fun. I haven't done a event as a vendor in a really long time. Generally, I'm the person putting on the show, not attending it as a vendor. So that was taking me back to like my roots, basically, because before I started putting on events, I was a vendor. I, sold my wife's artwork. I sold, toys and comic books, magazines, all kinds of stuff. But that's been a while. So it was fun to get back to those old ways of, setting up and, decorating and things like that. But Celina did a wonderful job of getting people to the event. It was packed. I have no idea the number of people, but there was a lot. The only thing I wish was different. I wish it was a little cooler. The weather-wise, it was 90 degrees almost, I think. And I made the mistake of bringing chocolate, so most of my chocolate was melted by the time people started showing up. And I warned them, and I said, look, you might want to be careful with these, or take them to your house and put them in the fridge or the freezer because they're melted. It was just, it's Texas heat. It still feels, it's not summertime heat, but, 86, 87 degrees is still hot. So that's the only thing I wish I could have changed was the weather, which, I mean, generally that happens a lot, especially with outdoor events. It was really windy, but not so much that it was a pain. I tied my canopy to the pumpkins I brought, and I never felt like it was going to blow away, which I was kind of worried because the wind did pick up a few times. It knocked the handbills off my table. Some of them, I was scared they were going to fly off and hit somebody in the face, but that never happened. I talked to a lot of great people, and it was, it was a fun thing to get out in the public. So I'm excited. While I was in Texas, I visited a few places. I found a really cool record store in a kind of a antique mall, I guess. I didn't buy anything, but I always like to look at vinyl. I didn't go, but I saw a place, I think it was called Yesterday Farm or something. I don't know. I'll find the link to it and put it up. But it was a farm type environment set off the side of the road about an hour or so outside of Dallas, I think. I'll post, like I said, I'll post the link, and somebody's going to know what I'm talking about. But they had zombie shooting and pumpkin carving and animals, I think, like a petting zoo. It was really neat, and there was a lot of people there. I drove by it. I wanted to stop, but I was on my way back home, so I didn't have a chance to do that. I stayed at a hotel that was directly attached, well, not directly, but right behind me was a Halloween store, which I thought was cool because of all the places I could stay in Texas, I chose the one that was, neighbors with a Halloween store, which is, appropriate. What else did I do? I kind of just drove around and explored the city, which I always like to do in new places. But I'm excited. Halloween's in a week, which is nuts to me. I'm not ready for it to be so close. It feels like it's way too soon. I mean, we always feel that way, but I can't believe in, exactly 1 week from me recording this that it's going to be Halloween on a Sunday, which means a lot of people will celebrate on Saturday or maybe Friday. For some reason, Sunday's like a no-no for celebrating Halloween, which is weird. I mean, whatever. When I was a kid, it didn't matter what day it was on. We did it on the day it was supposed to be. And, if you had school the next day, oh well, you'd go tired, or you'd be so hyped up on sugar it didn't matter. But, things have changed. I'm really looking forward to putting out more information about the festival. I've got the schedule almost locked down with what exactly is going to be going on. So I know a lot of people have asked about that. What else there was something else I wanted to talk about. I've gotten a bunch of new stuff. I've been picking up blow molds. I'm working on kind of a small museum presentation for some of the stuff that I own. I'm going to have it presented and then have information. Like, basically, you're visiting a museum. It's going to have information on the product or whatever it is, and when it was made, what year, who made it, is that company still in existence, what state it was made in, things like that, because I always find that interesting. So I'm excited to get back to Texas after this trip, because I think I'm maybe going one more time, and then it's going to be, time for the show, because it's about a month away. I really wanted to go to the Halloween museum when I was in Texas, but that Austin area is so far from Dallas. I just couldn't fit it in to the schedule. But I recommend anyone who's in Texas around the Bastrop area, right outside of Austin, to visit the Halloween Museum, the History Museum. I've seen a couple of pictures from articles that they interviewed people, or they interviewed them, and it looks really cool. There's a history Halloween timeline that I really want to see, because I've spoken to them about it, and I know the amount of work that was put into it. It's on the grounds of Scream Hollow, so if anyone, I think it's Monday through Friday that's open, like early in the morning till mid-afternoon. I'm not sure about how long it'll be open, if it's just for the season or if it's going to be something that's open all the time. I am trying to find that out to clarify, because I've had some people ask me, and I don't know the exact answer, so I'll figure that out. But like I said, Halloween's in 1 week. Does everyone know what they're going to dress up as? Do you plan on taking your decorations down once it's over? I usually just leave them up until New Year's, because some of my Halloween stuff goes with Christmas, so it works. And, if you decorate as Nightmare Before Christmas, you can leave them up for both. So that's cool. But anyway, I hope everyone's, looking forward to Halloween. I'd love to see or hear what you guys are going to be doing on Halloween night. Are you going to watch a movie marathon? Are you going to, have a bonfire or have friends over? Have you already done your pumpkin carving? Some of my family did their pumpkin carving this weekend, and I missed it. So I'm looking forward to seeing their creations, because I'm very interested to see what people come up with for carving their pumpkins. But 1 week, man, it's nuts that's all that's left. But we're gonna keep it going all year round like we always do. What's 1031 365? That's our logo. Not our logo. That's our motto. I wore the shirt at the event this weekend, and I think a lot of people thought it was funny or got it. It was cool. So, Halloween every day. There's lots of slogans. Halloween is a lifestyle. I like 1031 365 for me personally, but Halloween's a lifestyle. Halloween, every day's Halloween. All those same sayings mean the same thing, that Halloween is in our hearts, and we love it, and we're going to continue to love it. So until next time, until I record another podcast, preserve Halloween.
Tonight it's Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Thank you, everyone. It is dark tonight, it's Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Thank you, everyone. Toy soldiers, lion, nutcracker, ballerina, daddy bear, mouse, and train. It is dark tonight, it's Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. Thank you, everyone.